Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Damian Next. Sorry for the delay or sorry for the absence in videos recently. I don't know. I was supposed to upload yesterday, but I'm uploading this today instead because obviously it's basically the middle of the night now that I'm uploading this. But it's like, yeah, sorry about that. I'll try to resume videos normally. Like I'll do another like a small video for today as well. Probably not gonna be out for 12, but we'll see. I'll probably upload at some point today. And hopefully videos will normally resume after that, but I might be not busy tomorrow, but I might be doing something tomorrow morning. Might be busy Sunday afternoon, so I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. Because I'm off this weekend, so I'm trying to enjoy it. It's going to be hot as freaking hell this weekend, so it's going to be exciting. Just to give you a idea of how hot it's going to feel, it's going to feel like 113 degrees. I feel like 113 degrees. The actual temperature will be 93.2, but it'll feel like 111 to 113. So it's gonna be crazy. Anyways, 3 Describe Me Is True Scary Stories. This came out 7 hours ago. 100,000 views. Mr. Nightmare. Gotta love it. I was actually just thinking about Mr. Nightmare today, and I was like, when did he upload a video? I know it was like a few days ago, but I was like, when is he gonna upload another video? Like, I want another one, bro. Come on. And then he delivers. It's like he knew. It's like he knew Damian and Krista. Damian Reacts was like, when's the next Mr. Nightmare video coming? And then he's like, you know what, Damian, I got you. And then uploaded. He always comes in clutch. So we'll see how this video goes. I don't like videos like these kind of sort of thing where it's just kind of like scary stories, because then it could be literally anything. I like knowing what the scary stories actually are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like it when it's like stalker horror stories, like break-in story. Like, I know what to expect. Like this, it could be anything. Literally anything. But I guess that also adds to the excitement of it. Like, I could kind of like, what story are we going to get? What story are we going to get, you know? Is it going to be horrifying? But these are disturbing, true, scary stories. So, let's see. Starting. And it sucks, because anytime he uploads, it's like great, because I love hearing horror stories, but at the same time, it's like, if these are real stories, this is actually happening to people across the world, and it's like, you don't want this to happen to you, so it's like, as much as you like hearing horror stories, it's like, you don't want him to keep uploading, because that means people keep experiencing these horror stories. Like, you guys get what I mean? Anyways, I talk too much. You guys do not care. Okay, let's go. Is that a movie theater? Maybe it's a movie theater horror story. JG.
We moved into my grandparents' house in 2016 when they decided to downsize. I was 9. They had built the place in the early 90s, and it sits on 5 acres out on the outskirts of a small southern town. Woods and open fields stretch around it.
Interesting start so far, like with the screens.
And a slow, muddy river winds past our southern fence line. On 2 sides, our property touches our only neighbor's land. An odd, crooked patch of acreage with a house that felt like it was sinking into the ground. That house was old. The original farmhouse had been built in the 1920s, and over the years, it had been added onto in all the wrong ways, like someone stapled extra rooms together without a plan. The siding was discolored and soft-looking. Every time you glanced at it, it just looked wet, even on dry days. The yard was a nightmare. Overgrown bushes tangled with vines, broken fountains surrounded by weeds, gnomes missing heads, and old trash that looked like it had been there for years. Grocery bags flapped in the tree branches. A rusted lawnmower sat in the middle of the grass like it had died mid-job and was never moved. It was the place that made you want to hold your breath when you walked by. At the time, the house was home to 2 elderly sisters, Violet and Agnes, and 3 kids. Violet was the quieter of the 2. Always sitting on the porch in a faded green rocking chair, just watching the trees. Agnes was sharper and more active, but she still moved like her bones hurt. Both women were in their 70s at least. The kids were their grandchildren. The boy, Liam, was my age and in my grade at school.
So 9.
The other 2 were girls named Allison and Kelsey. They were the same age as my younger sister. Liam was weird. I didn't like him, and I didn't want to hang out with him.
Yeah.
But we were in the same class, so we got lumped together a lot. He took that as permission to just show up at my house whenever he wanted. No knocking or texting. I'd be playing a game in my room and turn around, and he'd just be there.
Oh my god.
One time, I looked out my window and saw him doing cannonballs in our pool. Another time, he walked straight into the kitchen, opened our fridge, and started eating a slice of leftover pizza with his hands like it was no big deal.
What the hell? Bitch, you don't, like, do you not keep the doors locked? I don't get it. How does he just enter your house? Like, do you not have locks on your doors or something, or what? What are you guys doing?
When we hung out, he wasn't fun. He was obsessed with anime, like really obsessed, but I didn't watch any, so I had no idea what he was talking about. He'd say weird lines in Japanese and get mad when I didn't laugh. Sometimes he'd get this look in his eyes, like he was imagining something violent. One time he chased me with a pair of sharp garden shears, swinging them around and laughing like it was a game. Another time we were on an old wooden bridge that crosses the creek near the back of our properties, and I swear he tried to push me in.
Oh my
He
god.
claimed it was a joke, but the way he smiled after, I knew he meant it. The twins were different, quiet and almost invisible. Their clothes were always dirty, and they had speech impediments that made it hard to understand them.
So me, because you guys can probably barely understand a word I say either.
It was obvious nobody at home was helping them. Their voices were garbled, like they were still toddlers, even though they were 7. They flinched easily, and they always looked hungry. Their dad was in and out of jail, so he wasn't around, and that brings us to the mom, Teresa. The first time I saw her, she was trying to hook a hose up to the spigot at the edge of their property, right near our side yard. She was tall, way taller than anyone else in her family, and heavy set, with long, thick, curly black hair and glasses that looked like they belonged in the 80s. She was different, put together in a way that the rest of the family wasn't. Her clothes were clean. Her hair was always styled, too. She smiled at me like she'd been waiting for me to come over. She asked me if I could help her with the faucet, and said it was stuck. I walked over and turned it, and it moved easily. She gasped and clapped her hands, told me I was so strong and how lucky she was I came over. I felt proud. She made me feel like I was something special. Then she said, "Did you know you have a third eye?" I blinked. What? She smiled wider and said we all have one.
Yeah, I remember hearing that, like something about a third eye. I remember hearing that.
Not a physical eye, but a spiritual one. She said it lets you see the truth, whatever that meant. Before I could ask anything, she started walking back toward her house and told me to come with her, so I did. The inside of their house hit me like a wave of rot. It smelled like spoiled food, mildew, and something worse I couldn't place. Trash was everywhere. Garbage bags torn open, rotting food on plates, stained furniture, even dirty diapers were stuffed behind the couch.
Ew.
I tried to leave, but Teresa grabbed my wrist and led me upstairs. Her
What?
room was nothing like the rest of the house. It was pristine, with pink wallpaper, clean carpet, shelves full of porcelain dolls, and very ornate old furniture.
So she's a very clean person, very clean room. But the entire house and the kids are all just disgusting. Got it.
The air smelled like rosewater and old perfume. It was like I stepped into a different building. She gestured for me to sit on a little cushioned stool in the corner, and then walked over to her vanity and opened a drawer. She pulled out a silver tray with a black candle, a crystal, and a thick, leather-bound book. The second I saw the pentagram on the cover, my stomach turned. My parents are Catholic. I knew what that symbol meant. And suddenly, I started seeing it everywhere. On the jewelry box, on the mirror's frame, and
Damn.
peeking out from under the corner of the rug on the floor, etched into the wood. I jumped up. "Sorry, my mom wants me home. Bye." I didn't wait for a response. I ran. In 2019, Agnes had a heart attack and died inside the house. I heard she collapsed in the living room in front of all the kids. I went to the funeral. It was in this rundown Baptist church on the edge of town. The family was stone-faced, like they didn't know how to react, except for one woman who I'd never seen before. She sat in the second pew, sobbing so loud it echoed. Nobody acknowledged her. That same year, Liam disappeared. The story was that he tried to kill one of the twins and was sent to a psychiatric facility. I never got the full details, but my parents sat my sister and I down that night and said, in no uncertain terms, we were never to go near that family again. I remember their faces, grim and serious. That's when it all clicked. All the little things I hadn't understood. The weird stuff, the fear. Eventually, the rest of the family moved away. They left Violet behind, just an old, frail woman living alone in that collapsing house. She passed away in 2020, alone, in that house. Her estate went up for auction. A few months later, one of my old elementary school teachers, Mrs. S., bought it with her husband. They tore down most of the structure, but kept the original 1920 section, the same part where Teresa's room had been. Mrs. S. invited us over to see the renovations. It was beautiful. Open floor plan, all new appliances, and fresh paint. She showed us upstairs, and that's when my skin started crawling. We were in her room, and I could feel it. Even though the floors were carpeted now, I knew the pentagram was still there, like the floor remembered. I felt nauseous, like something was watching me from the walls. I told Mrs. S. I had a headache and had to go. She was disappointed. I was supposed to stay for dinner. I avoided the house after that, until last year. Mrs. S. asked me to dog sit while they went out of town for a week. I said yes. I figured it was just a job. Easy money. Every night I'd ring the doorbell and they'd buzz me in through the smart lock. Their dogs, a Shih Tzu named Muffin and a snorting little pug named Henry, would greet me tails wagging. The first 4 nights were quiet, peaceful even. I'd feed the dogs, play with them a bit, turn on the porch light, and lock up. But on the last night, I was about to leave when Henry started barking at the staircase. He planted his little legs and just barked over and over. Muffin backed away, whimpering. There was nothing there. And then, thump. It came from upstairs. Another thump. Left
Sorry, I know I haven't said much, but I'm just kind of like, the story's long, bro. Damn.
louder this time. I didn't stay to investigate. I ran to the front door, slammed it behind me, and locked it. The whole walk home, I couldn't shake the feeling something had followed me. Now it's 2025. We hadn't heard a word about the family in over 4 years. That is, until recently. A girl from school told me she saw Teresa at a farmer's market in a nearby town. Apparently, she started some kind of religious group. Calls herself a truth seer. They live in a mobile home community far out in the woods. Flyers have started popping up on bulletin boards and telephone poles. I don't trust it. I don't trust her. I think Teresa is truly evil. I mean, she neglected her kids. She left her mother in that house to rot. And I think she brought something into it. Something dark. Something that stayed behind. I still have nightmares of her and Liam. They stand at the foot of my bed, staring at me, not speaking at all. And every time I pass by that house, even now, I get chills. The good parts, such as the paint, the furniture, it's all surface level. That place remembers, and I don't think it ever let go of what happened there.
Damn. I feel like I want to watch that story again, like, later on, just to make sure I got all the details there, because I feel like I missed something, or like I'm really tired right now, so I feel like I missed something, or I didn't understand something, or comprehend something. Because I feel like it's like really easy to miss something in these stories, to be honest. So I feel like I missed something. Keegan Miller, I'm so hot right now. It's not even that hot outside right now, but I'm so hot.
My name is Keegan. I reside in Michigan with my parents. High school was a decent timeline for me, as I had gotten to meet various new people during my time there. Obviously, I also had some people I tended to hang out with outside of school. The only time I really hung out with them was at places like my local community center, where we would work out and play basketball. Back in freshman year, it was getting close to the end of the year, and I was excited for summer break to be coming. I would be starting driver's training, and even start doing a side job to at least begin making money, so I didn't have the fastest start. I had this one friend named Clayton. I would usually hang out with him at least once a week. He was a grade lower than me, his final year of junior high. We were to some extent good friends, and my dad and I even took him to a Detroit Pistons basketball game at one point. He was quite a big basketball fan, so he was more than eager to attend his first game. Despite all the fun activities in the past, it was until I started becoming more busy that he was somewhat beginning to change. He would usually get a bit sad or angry because I'm not free on a specific day. He was the kind of person to have some pretty intense anger issues when he got pissed off enough. I remember this one day when I told him I wasn't free again, and that I would be home cleaning. It seemed as if he would find the right days where I'm not available to hang out. I didn't check my phone until after I finished cleaning, and I found out that he removed me on Snapchat. I messaged him on Messenger, asking why he got so mad, why he decided to remove me as a friend. He assumed I was lying to avoid hanging out with him.
Honestly, though, okay, so here's what I'm going to say. Now I got some thoughts coming in, okay? Because honestly, this could actually be a real thing. Like, some people do pretend to be busy, I feel like, just to ignore others, and that's pretty fucked up. Like, for me, like, I have friends that are busy. Obviously, I'm 25, they're like 23, 24. Like, they're obviously busy too. Again, life is busy, you know what I mean? Like, life isn't just, oh yeah, every day you can hang out all day, every day just hang out, you know? Wake up at 9 a.m., hang out till 9 p.m., go to bed, wake up in the morning, and then hang out again. Like, that's not how it works, right? Now it's life, and life be lifing sometimes, and sometimes you can't hang out, and sometimes friends move away, and sometimes you live far away, and, you know, sometimes, like, you don't have a car, you don't have money to even hang out or bus somewhere, or, like, you know what I mean? Like, you may not have the time or the energy, and, you know, like, the main thing I feel like is people moving away, people getting jobs, and people going to school. My best friend, we went from talking every day to high school, messaging every day, seeing each other every day. We messaged like once a week maybe, once every few days, and she was like my best friend. So like today or yesterday she messaged me saying, yeah, I graduated, and I was like, oh, thanks for fucking telling me, I had no fucking idea. Like, what the hell, like, you know what I mean? Like this is stuff you tell your friends. So it's kind of like, are you really that busy? And if you are, you can't message me. Like, this is really debatable. You know what I mean? This is a really debatable topic, sort of thing. So you can let me know what you guys think, because I know a lot of you guys are still kids as well. You guys are like teenagers. Just wait till you get to be 20s. You're not going to be free all the time. It's not always going to be fun and games. Like, there's going to be jobs. There's going to be stuff that you guys got to do. It's just life. You know, life be life. And so. But I feel like some people do just say, oh, I'm busy, but it's like, you open all my messages, but then you can't answer them. Like, you're too busy to answer me. Bullshit. That's not true. Like, if you can open my message and me just saying, hey, you can't just say, hey. You can't say, hey, I'll talk later, I'm busy. Like, if you forget, that's one thing. I forget too sometimes. I don't have time for a 5-second text. If you just ignore like that, or if you just actually say, yeah, I'm busy today. I wouldn't get mad at that necessarily, but if it's like I'm asking you 7 days in a row, are you free, are you free? No. It's like, really? Like, no days you're free? Like, I'm not saying that you're not. I'm not saying you're not busy. Maybe you are busy, right? But I feel like sometimes people do that. And I feel like at times people do say that to me. Oh yeah, I'm busy, but they're not. I feel like people do that to me sometimes. So honestly, I kind of feel how Keegan feels, or how Keegan's friend here feels about Keegan, because honestly, I feel like it makes sense. Now again, is Keegan actually lying? I don't think he's lying, but I'm just saying that, like, I think some people do that, and then it's hard to know who, like, wants to be your friend or not, because, like, I've asked people straight up, do you want to be my friend or not? Like, what are you doing here? Do you want to be my friend or not? Like, just tell me straight up, because I don't want to ask you out every day to hang out if you don't even want to be my friend, you know what I mean? So it's like, we have to be straight up, and if you don't want to hang out with someone, just let them know. I feel like in this case, Keegan actually is busy, and then he just doesn't have a chance to hang out. But it's like, if you guys really are friends, like, you should be able to make some time. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe I can mention this a bit more later on, but that's kind of my little rant about hanging out and friends and all that. Because I feel like some people do just avoid you, some people do just say, oh, you know, I'm busy, but they're not busy at all. You know what I mean?
That thought crossed my mind for a while, and I even followed up with it at times because he was starting to become more obnoxious. On occasion, I would lie and say I'm doing something, going somewhere, or already made plans with another friend.
See?
He felt so left out that one day, when the sun had set, he showed up to my apartment I was living in at the time unannounced. I asked him why he didn't text me ahead of time. Nothing. He just stared at me for a few seconds before walking away slowly. Why was he here at this hour? Why didn't he say anything? Why did he just give me this 1,000-yard stare as if I did something to offend him? I hadn't spoken to him the next day. That's also when I turned off my Snap Map on Snapchat to hide my location from him, after he apparently added me back. Some time had gone by, about a month, and he's still the same person, angry or sad when I can't pay him a visit. That's when I got a text from my friend.
Again, being sad that you can't see your friend, that's normal. The funny thing is, I was talking to my one friend, and I was like, I really want to see you. And then, like, he was saying that he could make time for me tomorrow morning, right? Not for long, but for a bit. And I was like, I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like you're busy the weekend, but you can make time for me in the morning, even for like an hour. That's cool. Like at least you're making some time for me. Like you're kind of going out of your way to make sure that you see me in a sense. Like I said earlier, make time for that person if you really want to see them, right? Like sometimes if you're fully booked, like I doubt that you're fully booked throughout the whole day. Like some people are. Some people have like really busy days. I fully get that. But not to have a second to talk or text or call or hang out for like an hour. It's like, you know what I mean? Like how busy really are you? You know what I mean? Again, some people are really busy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But some kind of just say that, right? And then like he even said that he even like made it up at times, right? So that's the thing.
Nick, who I barely saw in person. He knows Clayton and his ex-girlfriend. Nick had told me some gruesome things about him and what he's done, but my heart dropped as I heard from him and Clayton's ex that he held a knife at his ex-girlfriend's throat and assaulted her. I knew that he was a psycho right then and there. I removed him as a friend on all platforms without any hesitation. He texted me on Instagram before I removed him on there too. He blew up my phone with messages asking why I'm removing him. I just told him I needed some time to myself and I would add him back when I'm better, but I used that as an excuse to get away from him. That night, while I was home alone since my parents went to the next town over for dinner with some old friends of theirs, I heard a knock at my apartment door.
Damn.
I looked out of the peephole and no one was there.
So again, obviously this one, like with the whole thing about the sexually like assaulting her and putting a knife to her throat, obviously that's messed up, and he should be in jail for that, to be honest. But just in terms of like the friends texting thing, like it makes sense that you can't hang out with your friends because like and then you get sad. I get sad too, 100%. That's normal. Like you know what I mean? Like it's normal if like your friend or best friend is saying, I'm too busy, sorry, I'm too lazy to come see you. Like, I have time, but I still want to. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, damn, like, like sometimes people just do that, right? And that's what hurts the most, right? Because then, like, you just wonder if they want to be friends with you anymore, right? So that's kind of the thing that I do agree with, I understand. Everything else, no. Everything else that he said, no, definitely not. I'm going to charge my camera. I swear my camera has like the crappiest battery.
I opened the door a crack to survey the hallway, but no one. I figured it was someone ding-dong ditching. I figured they wouldn't come back.
Yeah.
But when I randomly looked out my bedroom window, the light was burned out by the sidewalk. I noticed a small flash in the corner of my eye, and I thought it was from inside someone's car, but I felt my stomach drop when I saw a tall figure standing in front of my window.
Oh.
I opened my window and told him to go away,
Fuck.
that I don't want him here. He told me to let him in so he could tell me something. I firmly said no and told him I want him gone, but when he began to move around a bit, I noticed something was in his hand. I couldn't exactly make out what he was holding until he held it up, and when I tell you I was frightened, I felt as if I was going to pass out. Because I shit you not, Clayton was holding a knife in his hand. I told him I was calling the police, but he had already taken off by the time the police had gotten there. I gave the best description of him that I could describe to the cops. I haven't heard a word about or from him since that horrific night. I honestly wouldn't be so surprised if you were trying to kill me while I was home alone. I believe he had murderous intentions. I assumed he probably ended up in juvie after what happened. Not only was I horrified from that experience, but it may have been one of the most traumatic moments of my life. Having your parents gone along with it makes it feel undeniably more unsettling. I'm glad I disconnected all contact from him when I did, because I think if I continued to remain friends with him, I probably could have ended up as one of his endless punching bags, or even worse, dead.
Damn, bro. Yeah, some people are just crazy, and apparently he was one of them.
This happened in late 2022, when I went on what I thought would be a fun and simple first date with someone I matched with on a dating app.
Oh god, here we
Her name
go.
was Emily, and we had been texting for about 2 weeks before
Oh, this one I'm excited. I did it for dating app horror stories, even though I have dating apps. So it should make me scared. I'm like, no, I love these juicy stories. That's what
decided to
happens.
meet up. We both shared a love for horror movies, and when Smile came out, we agreed that seeing it together would be the perfect first date.
Okay.
We picked a weekday night, Thursday. It was a late showing, 10:15 p.m., and at a small, older theater just outside of town. I offered to drive and picked her up around 9:30. She seemed normal, friendly, maybe a little shy. She was quiet for most of the drive, but opened up once we started talking about horror movies we liked growing up. When we got there, the parking lot was almost empty. I joked about how this theater looked like something out of a horror movie itself. Dim lights, flickering neon, and not a single person in the lobby when we walked in. There was only one guy working at the concession counter, and when I asked if it was going to be a full theater, he laughed and said we were the only ones who had bought tickets for that showing.
Wow.
At first, I thought that was great. No crowds. Just me, her, and the movie. We went into Theater 6 and chose seats right in the center.
Which is kind of cool, I guess, but isn't that kind of creepy? Like, why are you the only people there, like, for that showing? Like, if it's like a popular movie that just came out and no one's there, like, even if it's 10, 15 p.m., there's still showings, like, there's still a lot of people showing up. Like, that's kind of weird and sketchy, don't you think? Like, no one's there, it's deserted. You said it's a horror story in itself, like, and then you're in a horror story.
About 4 rows from the back. It was freezing in there, which Emily pointed out right away. I offered her my hoodie, and we laughed about how creepy it felt being the only ones in the entire room.
Yep.
We sat back and talked while waiting for the
But you think you're the only ones in the entire room.
previews to start. I was starting to feel a little chemistry between us, and I figured this would be one of those dates where you actually end up seeing the person again. Then, right before the movie started, like right after the last trailer, and just as the lights dimmed lower, I noticed movement from the corner of my eye. Someone walked into the theater. They didn't say anything, or stop to look around, or check their phone for seat numbers like most people do. They walked in slow, straight up the steps, and sat directly behind us. I mean, directly. There were maybe 100 open seats, but he chose the one right behind me. And then he turned to look at him too, and she gave me a weird glance like, really? I kind of chuckled and said under my breath, figures. But right
Yeah, it's like, why are you right, like, can you go somewhere else, bitch? Like, 100 empty seats, and you gotta be behind me. Fuck off, thank you.
away, something felt off. You know that feeling when someone's eyes are burning into the back of your head? That's what it felt like.
Oh, he's looking
I
at you.
glanced back after a minute or two. He wasn't watching the screen. He was staring at us.
What if it's the creepy concession stand guy?
I only saw him for a split second, but he didn't flinch or look away. He didn't even pretend to be interested in the movie. He was just sitting forward a bit, like someone might do if they were really into a scene, but his face wasn't even turned toward the screen. It was angled right at us. At me. I whispered to Emily, he's just staring. She nodded slowly and whispered back, I know. We tried to ignore it for a while. The movie started, and I really did try to get into it, but every few minutes, I'd feel it again. The presence behind us. Not just someone being annoying, this was different. There was an intensity to it, like he was waiting for something. After about 20 minutes, I leaned forward in my seat and turned my head a little so I could glance back more casually. Same thing. He was still staring. He was middle-aged, maybe late 40s. He was clean-shaven, kind of pale, wearing a dark gray hoodie. Something about him just looked empty. Like
I swear I would have been like, what the fuck? Like, can I fucking help you? Like, I'm chicken shit, so I sat an hour with the camera because, you know, no one's actually in front of me, right? But it's like, or no one's actually behind me, so I can't, you know. But I feel like I'd be like, hey, bro, well, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, can I fucking help you, bitch? Like, fuck off.
he wasn't even there mentally. His eyes didn't look glazed over like someone who was zoning out. From what I saw, he never blinked. I turned back around and whispered to Emily, this guy is really creeping me out. She looked genuinely scared now. Do you want to move? We considered it, but where would we go? It would still be in the same room, and we were already in the best seats. Moving might make it awkward or even provoke him. A few minutes later, I felt something. The guy breathed on me. Not loud or exaggerated. It was soft, but unmistakable. A deep, slow exhale right behind my seat. I spun around, and he was leaning forward over the back of my seat, his face closer than it should have been. I stared at him and said, dude, can you not? He didn't respond. He just slowly leaned back in his seat. That was it. I told Emily, let's move. We got up and walked down to the front corner row. It sucked, and the angle was bad, but we needed distance. I could barely focus on the movie anymore. Just kept glancing back every couple of minutes. And every time I looked back there, he He was staring straight at us. He didn't budge. Around halfway through the movie, we heard footsteps. He was coming down the steps. Emily grabbed my arm, and we both held still. The footsteps stopped a few rows above us. We didn't turn around. I don't know how long he stood there. I didn't dare look. Then, finally, he walked back up to the top row. I whispered, "We need to leave." She nodded. We grabbed our stuff and slipped out quietly.
Like, this is the thing that pisses me off. Like, they're out, they're on a first date, they're trying to enjoy their first freaking movie together. Like, their first date, literally first date, and then some bitch is gonna freaking ruin it, and then they have to leave early. Like, bro, fuck off. Like, you're fucking ruining everything. Like, oh my god.
As we exited the theater and went down the hallway toward the lobby, I glanced back through the glass window in the theater door. He was standing in the aisle now. He wasn't watching the screen. He was just standing there, still staring at us. We went straight to the front and told the concession guy that someone was acting really weird in Theater 6. His smile faded instantly, and he said, "Again?" "What do you mean, again?" I said. And he hesitated, then said, "He's been coming in randomly for like a month. Always late shows and never buys anything. You guys aren't the first ones to complain about him." I responded, "Why hasn't anyone kicked him out?" He looked uncomfortable. He said, "He doesn't technically do anything illegal. Management says unless he touches someone or breaks a rule, we can't really do much." Emily was almost in tears. She asked if someone could walk us to our car. He agreed, and one of the janitors walked us out. The guy didn't follow us that night. At least, not that we saw. But the whole ride back, I couldn't shake this fear that he might have written down my license plate, that he might have followed us at a distance, watched us leave, and found out where Emily lived when I dropped her off. For weeks afterward, I was paranoid. My cop friend also told me it was a load of horse shit that they couldn't do anything about him. The theater, as a business, would reserve every right to kick somebody out.
Right.
I avoided that side of town for a while. Emily and I talked a few times after that, but never ended up seeing each other again, unfortunately.
Aww.
I think we were both too shaken from what happened. I have not been back to that theater since, though I don't see any reviews on the website about the guy. I wonder just how many people have actually had the same experience.
That's so fucked up, though. Like, the fact that, I don't know, that just pisses me off. Like, that basically made them not even see each other again. Like, you know what I mean? I obviously don't think that they should just not, like, they shouldn't just avoid seeing each other because they were too shaken up. Like, yeah, you guys had a bad first date. Try again, go to a different theater. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like that's like the, I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't know. I just hate it because, again, like, someone is pulling a prank or being creepy or whatever, and then yeah, it's like, unless he breaks the law or punches someone, then we can't do anything. He's not buying anything. He's just being creepy. He's making people feel uncomfortable, which is probably why no one goes to the theater anymore, and you can't do anything about it. That makes no sense. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you're acting suspicious. Like, that's grounds to say, get the fuck out of my theater. Like, oh, sorry, like, unless he punches someone or breaks a rule, like, what are your rules? Isn't, like, don't be sus or don't be creepy a rule? You know what I mean? I don't know, bro. The first show with the old camera thing at the start pulled me in. I wasn't expecting that. I was just exhausted, so seeing that, I was just kind of like, huh? 406, I thought the lady had other intentions to invite the kid home after hearing this part. Yeah, I was kind of like, why did the girl invite him in?
I was so strong, and how lucky she was I came over.
Yeah, I was kind of like, yeah, that's kind of creepy. Like, I'm so lucky you came. Okay. The visual opening for the first show was so aesthetically pleasing.
I was so strong.
Oh, fuck, okay. I'm just tired. I feel like I would have liked it more if it wasn't, like, dead, but yeah. Happy Friday night for me. That's me as well. Oh, I went too much now. The theater story is just how retail is. I've had people shut on the floor, scream at us, try to assault us, and they get it on camera. But management is nothing. Corporations see their employees as numbers, and they only care about money. It's not shocking they don't care if the story is even real. If it's a small theater, yeah, there's not much you can do but call security if they have one. If he buys a ticket and hasn't been violent, there's nothing to be done. I was at a movie theater and we've had homeless folks come in and we can't kick them out. Damn, bro. It's a good day when Mr. Hammer drops again. It's a good day when Mr. Hammer does anything. Freaking post a comment, does a freaking post, anything. I'm just like, that's a good day. He started eating a slice of leftover pizza. What else was he gonna do with it? That's true. Yeah, cause yeah, he was saying yeah, like he ate it with his hands. Well, yeah, what did he eat it with his feet? Like, of course he's eating it with his hands. Always so relaxing and good to watch at night. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. right now almost. The new style we voted on. Okay, so I guess maybe maybe somebody asked for him to add more different scenes or whatever. Okay, the found footage type of intro. Give me straight Blair Witch and sinister vibes. Bro, why are comments on scary videos always like, I got run over by a bus, and then my mother got attacked by a gorilla, and I've lost custody, and I've just lost custody of my 8 children, and I hate my life, but this video really helped me and saved me, thank you. That's kind of funny. Like, my mother got attacked by a gorilla, but this video really helped me out. Thanks, Mr. Nightmare. God, that was funny. I'm sorry, I'm like half dead right now, so that comment came as maybe laugh a little bit more than I normally would have. Are my eyes red right now? A little bit. I respect how you lay it all out, period. I love Mr. Nightmare, but the types of videos I wish he'll bring back just one more time is the clown story videos is my favorite he's made, and also the first I've ever watched Mr. Nightmare. Honestly, I love when there's just like specific genres. Like when it says 3 scary stories, I don't hate it, but then it's because then it's just like you have no idea what to expect. But I feel like some of the times it's just kind of like, bro, like it seems kind of boring, or because again, like I'm not gonna lie, some videos that Mr. Nightmare has put out has been kind of boring, and it doesn't really have me that engaged. But like these stories were pretty good, except for story 1, maybe because I didn't understand it that much. I'm gonna watch Rebound Leader's reaction, so I'm gonna try to focus a bit more on story 1 and listen to what happened. Story 2 and 3 I obviously got clear as day, but story 1, I don't know if I was just confused in the beginning. Maybe just the whole scenery in the beginning just like threw me off and I wasn't really like listening, paying attention, I don't know. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, comment down below, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. I don't want to stay up to edit this video. I'll see you guys later. Deuces. Peace.